Hello and welcome to the Glass House News radio show and podcast. If you're new here, my name is Tim. I'm the host of Glass House News and CEO of Glass House Media. If you're returning to watch, welcome back. Glad to see you. Today I've got a number of stories to talk about, including a Georgia senator has confirmed, or at least says, that there is a coordinated illegal action appeared to have taken place during the election. I'm going to talk about what all is in this stimulus package deal, as well as some of the more ridiculous things that are included, and then we've got some breaking news on the COVID-19 front. But before we get to the news, if you would please do me a favor, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and then share this video with your friends. I don't have a marketing team or a big fancy studio. I'm just a dude trying to share the information that I think is important in easy to understand ways. Our media tech overlords are censoring us left and right. They don't want us talking about the truth. They only want us to further their narratives. So, please do me a favor, share this video with your friends. Help me grow my channel. Help me grow my company so that I can continue to provide you with truth and nothing but the truth. Alright, so on to the news. We get a little bit of ridiculousness starting right off the bat. Let's start with the what all is in this $900 billion COVID-19 stimulus package. So we start with $286 billion in direct aid. Now again, we're looking at $908 billion total. $286 billion is about 31.5% of that, which this includes $600 checks and $300 weekly unemployment benefits. Now, as to why we need to increase unemployment benefits, as seeing as unemployment people on unemployment were already making more than a lot of people working full-time jobs, is completely beyond me. Why we need to increase unemployment is beyond me. It would seem we need to decrease that. As I talked about yesterday, there is zero relationship between COVID-19 lockdowns and the rate of the spread of the virus. There's none. There's no correlation. There's no causation. There is zero proof that the lockdowns have done anything at all. But still, we are conducting this experiment in real time. As to why, it's completely beyond me, because then what happens is we get taxed an exorbitant amount, and then some of that money is redistributed back to us. And then the American people thank our government for it. So basically, let's break it down to some smaller numbers just to show you what's happening. The federal government is taking $80 out of your back pocket, $80 out of your savings accounts, $80 out of your child's college funds. And then they are giving $20 of that back to us, and we are saying, thank you. No more. Taxation is theft, because no one has a right to the money that you work for except for you. So therefore, anyone that takes it from you, they are stealing from you. We've just become so used to it that we let it happen. We don't really have any qualms about it. Well, it's time to start fighting back. End and abolish the income tax. Yes, you heard me right. I want to see an end of the income tax. That's my own personal preference, because I believe taxation is theft and no one has a right to the income that I earn. Not my neighbors, not even my disabled friends. I will help them out of the kindness of my own heart, because that's the kind of person that I am, but no one has a right to that money except for me, because I am the one who earned it. I am the one that provided goods. I'm the one that provided services, not them. They had nothing to do with the money that I earned, so they do not get it. And this is something that the left doesn't really understand about the right. The left says, give me your money and I will redistribute it for you. And if you disagree with me, if you don't want to do that, then you are not compassionate, you are not loving, and you are a bad person. Well, that's just simply not true. The right is more compassionate, more loving, gives to charity more than the left. As I've talked about the last couple of days, the right adopts more people. They leave bigger tips at restaurants. So to say that the right isn't compassionate and don't care is completely false. Fact check. Not true. The right simply has a problem with saying, you have to do this way. As if they, the government, or someone else knows how to handle my money better than me. I'm sorry, but no. These people don't know the complexities of my life. They don't know the details of my day-to-day life. They don't know what I'm doing for a living. They don't know all of the things that I need to pay for. And so they don't know how to handle my money. Which is why things like this $600 check and $300 weekly unemployment benefit is a little ridiculous. Because you're stealing my money and redistributing it to all of America. No. Open back up the economy. Let people work for their money. People need to work for their livings. You don't get to survive by being a bum and leeching off of society. This is toxic. You'll see signs going through the park that say, don't feed the ducks, because then they'll become dependent upon the people who come by and feed them. And this is exactly what happens to people on unemployment. One of my best friend's mom, she's worked all of her life, various full-time jobs, most recently as a paralegal. She hasn't had to search for a job in about 16 years because she's just always had one. And now she's trying to find a job, finding she can't, and so she signed on into unemployment and has quit looking for a job because it's easier. She's become dependent upon the state. Our government was never meant to become a nanny state, which is why things like $325 billion for small businesses, while great in theory, doesn't work. Because now we're telling businesses, you don't need to work for your earnings. We'll give it to you. You don't need to do any sort of advertising. You don't need to invest in your future if the government is going to give you $10,000. This stimulus package is full of a lot of things that will help a lot of people, but it is completely unnecessary and will have many adverse effects for the next year to come. Many people are ready for 2020 to be over, myself included. 2020 has not been a great year. 2019 was, for me, worse than 2020. Not to say that 2020 was a walk in the park, but the last couple of years haven't been great. Seen a lot of death, had a lot of heartbreak, and a lot of friends go through a lot of crap that I've helped them with. So 2019, 2020 have been some pretty rough years. I'm ready for a new year. I'm ready for a new era of my life to begin. But if things continue the way they're continuing now, 2021 will not be any different. I said yesterday I'm fully expecting these lockdowns to end once Biden is inaugurated. I don't think it will. I think the Democrats are too deep in the hole now that they have to continue to double down on this lockdown, stimulus package. Everyone gets free money. You get money. You get money. Oprah Winfrey style. And this is going to lead to this is going to cause the destruction of our civilization. Which is why we see people like Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys breaking into the state capitol building in Oregon saying, we just want our rights back. We see Donald Trump thinking about initiating martial law. Well, we're already effectively under martial law. So what would happen if Trump were to send in the armed troops? He'd say, no, Governor Gavin Newsom, you can't restrict what time people can be out. You can't restrict the number of people that can gather in a home. The ironic part about Donald Trump initiating martial law is that it would mean a return to constitutional law. Whereas these Democrats are masking their efforts as constitutional. They're masking their efforts as public safety. I just want to help you. Meanwhile, they're destroying the economy to make you dependent upon them so that you will continue to vote for them so that they can hold the power forever. They're taking your money from your back pocket, giving you a little bit of it back, and we are thanking them for it. That's not how society is supposed to work. Society is supposed to work, you do what you can do, I do what I can do, and we fill in the gap from the kindness of our own hearts for those who can't. That doesn't mean that people like Amy Klobuchar get to put $15 billion in funding for concert halls and venues into a stimulus package. Because I thought we were all supposed to stay home. We can't go out to see concerts at venues and concert halls because that will spread the virus. So why do they need the funding to begin with if they can't host any events? The federal government is so inefficient, they don't even know what they're doing. They can't get their left from right, blues and reds, up and down. They don't know what's black, what's white. Everything they're doing is completely ridiculous, and they are completely unaware. Now, for some breaking news. This New York Post article, there is a new strain of COVID that's broken out across Europe. It's supposedly 75% more transmissible than our current strain. And the big question is, will our vaccines work against it? Because if it doesn't, well, that means more people are dead, means we might have to lock down some more, despite the fact that lockdowns have no effect against the virus. But the BioNTech CEO is, quote, confident that our vaccine will work against the new COVID-19 strain. So, despite the fact that Amy Klobuchar is stuffing $15 billion of money into things like venues and concert halls, despite the fact that people like Mitch McConnell and other GOP reps are stuffing billions of dollars into airline companies, despite the fact that Democrats and Republicans are both protecting their interests by sending millions and billions of dollars to foreign companies and foreign countries and other big corporations, you know, the ones who don't need it, the ones that are getting all of our money anyway, despite the fact that all of our, quote, representatives are simply protecting their assets, we are still here. It is time for us to remember, they are not our leaders. Our governors, our state representatives, our mayors, even our president, Congress, members of our government, they are our elected officials, meaning they represent us. They do not lead us. They do not tell us what to do. That's not what we elected them for. They serve us. They work for us, not the other way around. We elected them to represent us and make decisions for us on our behalf. They cannot represent us if they do not know what we think. I don't agree with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez very often, but yesterday she tweeted out that this ridiculously long 5,000-page stimulus bill was to be voted on in 2 hours. And she tweeted about how it was ridiculous because not only do they need to know what's in it, but so do the American people. Because they can't make their decisions if they don't know what we think. I don't agree with her often, but she is 100% correct on this. Our elected officials are our representatives, not our leaders. They don't tell us what to do. They make decisions for our country on our behalf. Because it would be mass chaos if 331 million people were trying to make a few decisions here and there. They are representatives, and it is time for us to remember that. It's time for us to take back control. So, I will commend people like Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys who are marching into the Portland State Capitol, breaking into the doors. I commend the men who were arrested in that protest, because no one has a right to tell you you can't gather on public grounds and in public buildings. It is unconstitutional for our, quote, leaders to tell us that we can't gather. So continue the civil unrest. Don't fight. Don't fight violently. Fight the power. Let them know that you are not happy with what they are doing. Let them know that you want your voice to be heard. Expect to fight, but do not anticipate. Expect and anticipate a fight. Do not instigate a fight. So, with that, please share this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video and you get all the latest updates on the news. Like I said, prepare for a fight. Do not instigate it. If you get hit, hit back. Do not throw the first punch, but always throw the last punch. Try not to burn down the country while I'm gone. I'll be back later tonight with another video. Over the next couple weeks, I'll be doing 2 videos a day. Like I said, try not to burn down the country while I'm gone. And even if you do, I'll be here later to cover it. Thanks. Have a good night. Have a Merry Christmas.